When you wish agus a cardte bhhaidam fearchuoin fáilte a choróid tróra ag an ócáid iontach a líonta seo trónóma. You're very welcome indeed to this very special exhibition of Pádraic Reaney's. I've no idea how many years ago it is since Pádraic and I first started talking and me selling his work and so on. But we've gone on many journeys since, and I have to say that Crazy Jane is probably the most exciting of them all for me up to this point. I think it's a remarkable exhibition, and it's a real, genuine pleasure to have it, and so many of you here to see it as well. And who better? We always have difficulty in finding somebody to open an exhibition. But I spoke to Lelia and I said something about Crazy Jane, and she just started quoting Crazy Jane. So I said, "You're the woman." And
she's a relation of mine, you know.
Well, actually, I was going to say these are about a demented woman from near Gorsh. But I won't go any further. I'd just like you to say to welcome Lelia and thank you.
I'm very honoured. Thank you. It's a happy asked to this because I was at the original exhibition, and I've left my notes at home, so that simplifies everything. Anyway, the first time I saw this exhibition, and I cannot remember how many years ago it is. Maybe you can. 9?
No, the Art Centre.
Yeah, the Art.
13.
About 12 years ago.
At least.
Does somebody know?
13.
Is it
Well
13?
done.
Thank you.
I saw it too.
And I was stunned by it because a number of people who I love and admire, like John O'Donoghue, and I had a great friend, Jack Dowling, who was another Jack, were great experts and proponents and lovers of these particular, well, Yeats in general, but these particular poems in particular. And one of the great lines, I mean, the poems have wonderful lines. You probably know them all. It's the first 7 poems in Words from Music, perhaps. And he said apparently in a letter to Olivia Shakespeare that he didn't particularly regard them as poems of any kind of a conceptual message kind, but of emotion, of his emotion. And they are hugely emotional poems. And that's why I love your take on them. They're dangerous, audacious. You know, she's an opinionated out crone, God bless her. And actually the poems are much more about her, and so are the paintings in a way, much more about her than they are about the bishop. Her and Jack. I think they're hugely merciful poems, actually, about somebody who is an unusual person. Yeats told a story of the poems having been based on a person who lived in a small cottage near Gort, and she was apparently given to magnificence in speech and gesture, and apparently she was outraged on one occasion because a local shopkeeper's wife charged her too much for a pint of porter, and as a result she got magnificently drunk, and she spoke magnificently in the area. And her words were satirical on the whole, but also true. You know, I think she's a huge moral figure, Crazy Jane, and I see her in that form here. And one of the, you know, this is Crazy Jane talks with the bishop. The bishop looks very like somebody we all know as a bishop, but we won't say a word about who that is. I met the bishop on the road, and much said he and I, those breasts are flat and fallen now, those veins must soon be dry, live in a heavenly mansion, not in some foul sty. This is the bishop. She says, fair and foul are near of kin, and fair needs foul. I said, my friends are gone, but that's a much... Oh, sorry, but that's I want to put on the bloody glasses at the end of all. But that's a truth, nor grave nor bed denied, learned in bodily lowliness and in the heart's pride. A woman can be proud and stiff when on love intent, but love has pitched his mansion in the place of excrement, for nothing can be whole, or soul or whole, that has not been rent. Remember Leonard Cohen had a line, there's a crack in everything, that's how the light gets in. And this, you know, is another version of that great thing, that fracture is, you know, where the truth can suddenly hop out unexpectedly. And there is a danger, I think, to Jane. The bishop is supposed to be dangerous, but the bishop is really all about will, which unfortunately the church founded on. The church founded on trying to make people stick to regulations and rules and willpower, whereas people's lives are far too complicated for that. And Jane's was, you know, I had wild Jack for a lover, though like a road that men walk over or roll over, my body makes no moan but sings on, all things remain in God. I mean, you know, it's just a magical, wonderful thing. Tom paid me the compliment of sending me some material before so that I would be ready to make this launch a bit more eloquent than it is being, which intimidated me totally, because one was by Jared Daw, which of course was extremely fluent, and the other was by Mike Fitzpatrick. One of them dealt really with your work and all your great career, spanning almost as many years as it took Yeats to get to this point, because he wrote these, or he wrote the poems when he was in his late 60s, and you haven't reached that magical figure by a long shot yet. No, stay quiet. And as for Mike, he was interested in Jane and the Bishop. My sense is that they are emotional works. I love the strength of their emotion, and I love the severity and the audaciousness of them, and the proper homage they pay to the unusual and the eccentric and the legendary in our lives. So I have huge pleasure, and excuse me for not saying as much as ought to be said about these beautiful works, but please enjoy them, please remember them as I will, and please buy them.
I will shock Tom now by saying a few words myself, which I never do, so I think get a heart. First of all, thank you very much. I was delighted when you said you'd do it, and thanks everybody for coming. But and welcome some people from Boston, family who came all the way this morning, so to be here. But I would like to say a special thank you to Leslie Owen down there. Without Leslie, I would not have done this. It was Leslie who put me onto the poems in the first place.
Quite right.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Well done. Thank you.